On. Hey guys, what's going on? Schnilly Sports Picks here, coming at you week 12 of NFL. We got a pretty packed Thanksgiving day, to be honest. Actually, some decent games going on. All right, starting off with Nolan's touchdown parlay for Thursday.
So we're gonna get right into it. First off, happy Thanksgiving. We have a few good games to watch. I think they're kind of lopsided, so I went a different route this time. And instead of going for straight picks and spreads and over-unders, I'm trying something a little different because not through the podcast, but from my TikToks and my action and my other posting, I've been very good with touchdown bets. So I'm taking a different approach today, or tomorrow, with a Thanksgiving Day TD parlay, one touchdown per game from one player. And I got this at plus 2087. So we're going to lead off with Sam Laporta, tight end, Detroit Lions against Green Bay. Love Laporta in the spot. He just seems right here. I just feel overall this is going to be a big tight end day for not just Laporta, but just tight ends overall across the entire board. As you can see for my second pick, we have Jake Ferguson, plus 190. Dallas tight end, I think they're going to run through Washington. I think it's going to be very high scoring for Dallas's offense. At some point, he's getting into that end zone. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Moving on to my final pick of the night, we have Niners Seahawks. They're closing the series. I like Debo in this spot. McCaffrey's been obviously a touchdown machine, but that's too obvious. He's at like minus 220. To me, that value is gone for him. Last week he was at like minus 125 on the Hard Rock app. It was boosted, and I had that in a touchdown parlay. Took advantage of that situation, so I got him there. But in this game at minus 220, the value's gone right now. I like Debo at plus 190. Someone's gonna have to get into that end zone other than Christian McCaffrey, and it's going to be Debo Samuel. So that's my parlay. Play it as you will. I also sneaky bet. I don't mind a Laporta Ferguson Kittle parlay if you want to sprinkle that too. A tight end day. It's a tight end Thanksgiving day. I could see Kittle biting into that turkey leg. So, but I'm going to take Debo in this spot. He seems due.
All right, well said. All right, I like that parlay. I don't think it's bad. Moving on, I am going the safe route with my first parlay. Another TD parlay. David Montgomery plus CeeDee Lamb plus Christian McCaffrey. All games I expect to have high scoring for the favorites. Plus 455. It's not beautiful. It's not plus 2,000, but I think we fucking hit it. All right. Second parlay. It's a little juicier. It's only a two-legger. Both, Amon-Ra, I guess, isn't technically at plus money. I think he's like minus 120 or something. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, obvious. He's been scoring a lot for the Lions recently. Plus, Zach Charbonnet. I like Zach Charbonnet because Kenneth Walker got hurt, and he will be replacing him as the RB1 for the Seahawks. And I think they're going to need a heavy run game to win their matchup this week. Moving on, what do you got?
I was going to say, I do like your picks there. I think Charbonnet is a sneaky good pick for good value.
Yeah.
Your first parlay is it's the heavy hitters, the guys who are going to get into the end zone. But for Thanksgiving Day, I think they all do. I have another parlay run by my friends that's very similar to your first one. I have Montgomery, CeeDee, and can't remember. I think it's Kittle. But
yeah, Kittle.
Montgomery and CeeDee Lamb, I think, are very good picks for a touchdown. So regardless, I like your plays. And then we're going to move on to NFL Sunday, and we have a Black Friday game. We have Jets, Dolphins. As you know, I'm a Jets fan, as you can see this shit on my wall. This team's not scoring 15 points. It's very clear. It's not a good team. If the offense wasn't going to score with Zach Wilson, the offense is not going to score with Tim Boyle. People wanted change, and they think it's at the quarterback. Yes, Zach Wilson is struggling. He is bad. He is not good. He is not the answer. However, Tim Boyle is not the answer. He is not going to put up points. He is not good. This is going to be a bad game for us. I'm afraid to see what this is going to be like, but I just don't see a situation where we're putting up more than 14 points. We scored one touchdown last 4 games, and they have us at 14 and a half. Something's very fishy about it, but at the same time, I'm just not convinced. I don't care what Vegas sees. I don't care what the sports books see. I know this team better than others, and this team is not capable of putting up 15 plus points. So I have the Jets team total at under 14 and a half. It is a Black Friday game. It's at home. Fans are going to show out. It's a big game. It really is. Jets are in a desperate spot. They need to win this game to stay relevant.
Yeah,
It's a division rival against Miami. So I could see them coming out strong defensively, but offensively, it comes down to the quarterback, and they don't have a quarterback. And without a quarterback, they're going to struggle. So I have under 14 and a half at minus 110.
that line really
Um,
surprised me. I thought the books would set it at 13 or 13 and a half. I didn't think they would give us a 14.
I think even 12 and a half is not a bad number, or like 13. Yeah, 13 straight. It's just
Yeah.
something about 14. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't seem right. I think the defense will keep them in the game because I think Miami has Miami has a strong offense, but I think our defense will hold them down somewhat and do their job, but they can only do it for so long. And then the Jets offense is just without Rodgers, it's rough. You have the weapons, but you need someone to lead the offense, and they don't have that guy. I think this is a game where we see Trevor Siemian in the second half, who's the backup this week. But moving on, also in that game, I didn't write it down. I have a sprinkle bet on Cedric Wilson Jr. of the Dolphins to get an anytime touchdown. He's sitting at plus 500 right now. I think he's a sneaky pick. The Jets always seem to give up touchdowns to random receivers because usually the top two are locked down from TJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. And there's always just one receiver who gets a random touchdown on them that you just don't expect. And this week, I think it's Cedric Wilson. Also a sneaky bet, which I don't have. The Cedric Wilson bet I placed. But the other sneaky bet would be a Braxton Berrios bet, revenge game from the Jets. Pretty iconic player, honestly, for the Jets. I really liked him. Made an all-pro as a kick returner. Just an overall good guy, but he is a sneaky bet. I think he's like plus 600 to get a touchdown or plus 650. So that's also something to keep in mind. But anyway, I have Cedric Wilson, anytime touchdown, plus 500. Just a little half unit on that. Actually, no, quarter of a unit on that. Moving on, I have Bucks money line plus 115 against Indy. It's in Indy. I never really liked the Bucks, but they've been decent pretty much I wouldn't say every week, but pretty much almost every week.
Yeah.
They've looked decent.
They've been
Baker
cashing
Mayfield.
for me, dude, and I've been trying to get you on the Bucks train, and you just
Yeah, well, I was never sold on them, and I'm still like they're not a good team.
yeah,
They're
they
just
aren't,
not.
but they have momentum.
Yeah,
They're better than
they're
what we thought they
streaky.
would be. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very streaky. They're better. I give them credit. They're better than what I thought. I thought Baker would come in and just burn this team to the ground, but they've been competitive in games. Even last week with the Niners. I mean, they lost by like 14, but they were fighting. They made the defense work for San Francisco, and this week against Indy, I just feel like this is a good money line spot at plus money for them. I think they're due for a nice win, a little upset win. Indy, I don't know. They're coming off a bye, and without Anthony Richardson, they're stuck with Minshew, and Minshew at any given moment can just collapse for you and give you a shit game. I think this is one of them. Even in Indy, this seemed like a trap game, and that's really it for me. I like Bucks money line there at plus 115. Moving on to my last play of the week. I know we only have 3 picks today, or 3 picks. I'm sorry, 2 picks on Sunday, 1 pick on Friday, and then that TD parlay on Thursday. I'll have more picks leading up to the week, just depending on how everything else goes throughout the other leagues. But that would be through TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. But moving on, we have Browns Broncos over 35.5. I feel like the Browns line has always been disgustingly low in the 30s, basically every week. But this just seems like one of those spots. A couple weeks ago, it was Bills Dolphins, and the over was just so high, and I'm like, I think they're gonna hit it. And even going back to last night, there was a Hawks Pacers game for basketball. The over under was 252, highest since 1999. And what happened? 309 points scored in that game. For me, in this game, the over just seems kind of obvious here because it's so low, and I think it's one of those spots where it actually just does cash. 35.5 to me is dangerously low. Denver is kind of, I know you mentioned it yesterday at work. Denver is kind of creeping up. They've won, I think, 4 in a row. They're at 500. They're officially now in the playoff race. So they're not a pushover. They're trying to win this game. Cleveland is in the same spot. They lost Watson for the year, but they still are playing for something. They could even win this division. They just beat Pittsburgh last week. They're in a good spot to even win the division. I think both teams want this game more than the other, and they're both going to show that, and it's going to be an offensive game. I think the Cleveland defense is obviously their strong suit, and it's going to be the difference in this game, but I just feel like 35.5 is very low. Like something as simple as 23-20 is way over, and even that doesn't seem like a far-fetched bet, like a far-fetched score. But even something like 20-17, that's 37, and that's kind of where I'm leaning. I don't think this is going to be a free 35.5, but in Denver, I feel like Denver is going to get their points. I think they'll get at least 17, but I do like Cleveland to win this game, and I have them getting at least 20. So that puts us at 37, just over the 35.5. I think this is a good play in my opinion. I think both offenses have capabilities to easily put up 20 plus on both ends. So 35.5 is my play there, and that's all I have for Sunday. Monday night, I don't have anything in yet. I can't even remember who's Monday night. Oh, it's Bears Vikings. I mean, we're obviously going to bet on it somewhere. We need to feel something, but it's one of those games where it's a tough watch. Same with Sunday night. Sunday night's a great game, but Sunday night I don't have any bets yet, but I'll get some bets in. That's Ravens Chargers. That's a great game actually. I think that's going to be a very high scoring, entertaining game, but nothing for it yet. But stay tuned for that. That would be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Twitter. Everything gets posted there. Schnilly Sports across the board. We got UFC. We have NFL. When baseball comes back, we got everything. So that's all I have this week. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
Any final words?
no UFC.
Final thoughts?
No UFC this weekend or the next weekend, so I'm kind of sad. But we got 2 events left, and we're gonna close out the year strong in MMA. I feel really good about these next 2 events. I'm already cooking, already doing some tape study, so we'll see. All right, and that's all from us at Schnilly Sports. Follow us on all social medias at Schnilly Sports, and we'll see you guys next weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Bye-bye.